Hello, guys. This is day 3, 30 days of getting to know Jesus. So we're gonna get started. Today's verse is gonna be Isaiah 52, verse 13 to Isaiah 53, verse 12. So let's dive in and let's get this started. All right. The Lord's suffering servant. See, my servant will prosper. He will be highly exalted. But many were amazed when they saw him. His face was so disfigured he seemed hardly human, and from his appearance one would secretly know he was a man, and he will startle many nations. Kings will stand speechless in his presence, for they will see what they had not been told. They will understand what they had heard about. So 53. Who has believed our message? To whom has the Lord revealed his powerful arm? My servant grew up in the Lord's presence like a tender green shoot, like a root in dry ground. There was nothing beautiful or majestic about his appearance, nothing to attract us to him. He was despised and rejected, a man of sorrows, acquainted with deepest grief. We turned our backs on him and looked the other way. He was despised, and we did not care. Yet it was our weakness he carried, it was our sorrows. The weight that weighed him down, and we thought his troubles were a punishment from God, a punishment for his own sins. But he was pierced for our rebellion, crushed for our sins. He was beaten so we could be whole. He was whipped so we could be healed. All of us, like sheep, have strayed away. We have left God's path to follow our own. Yet the Lord laid on him the sins of us all. He was oppressed and treated harshly, yet he never said a word. He was led like a lamb to the slaughter, as a sheep is silent before the shears. He did not open his mouth, unjustly condemned. He was led away. No one cared that he died without descendants, that his life was cut short in midstream. But he was struck down for the rebellion of my people. He had done no wrong, and he had never deceived anyone. But he was buried like a criminal. He was put in a rich man's grave. But it was the Lord's God good plan to crush him and cause him grief. Yet when his life is made an offering for our sins, he will have many descendants. He will enjoy a long life, and the Lord's good plan will prosper in his hands. When he sees all that is accomplished by his angels, he will be satisfied. And because of his experience, my righteous servant will make it possible for many to be counted righteous, for he will bear all the sins. I will give him the honors and victorious soldiers, because he exposed himself to death. He was counted among the rebels. He bore the sins of many intercedals for rebels. Alright, guys. So that was today's message. I think I went a little too far, but that's alright. It happens. Got a little extra verses. No big deal. Can't learn too much about the Lord. I got a little header here that I'm gonna go ahead and read. So it is called Jesus Made the Ultimate Sacrifice. Read Isaiah 53 1 to 12. The cross was not rude, interrupted to the otherwise wonderful ministries of great humanitarian and moral teacher. Jesus chose to take the punishment for our sins because he knew that there was no other way for us to have a relationship with the Holy God. The fact That Jesus knew what was waiting for him makes his journey to the earth even more amazing. Here are three things his death on the cross shows us. The cross shows the depth of human sin. When we look at the cross of Jesus Christ, we should see a representation of human sin and recognize how lost we really are. Ultimately, it was our sins that put Jesus on the cross. Jesus took our punishment upon himself. That thought alone should make us realize the depth of our sinful natures. The cross demonstrates the overwhelming love of God. Our sins drove the nails through his hands, but his love for us held him to the cross. As the Apostle Paul so elegantly wrote, I live in this earthly body by trusting in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. Galatians 2:20. The cross represents the only way of salvation. If there had been any other way to bring salvation to all people, Jesus surely would have found it. But to say there are no other ways to know and have a relationship with God is to make a mockery of what happened at Calvary. Jesus said clearly, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one can come to the Father except through me. John 14:6. I like that verse, guys. You should check out John if you haven't read it. It's a good book. But that is about it for today's Getting to Know Jesus 30-day plan. That's day 3. I do apologize, guys. I missed the last few days. I had some yard work to do. I was busy. We had some family stuff to deal with. But today's Monday. Gonna get back into it. So just stick with me, guys. I ain't giving up. I do apologize. I got a little bit busy for a couple days, but we're gonna keep rolling on this track till we're done. We got about 27 more days to go. We only did day 3, so keep tuned in, guys. All right. God bless. Love you. Have a good day.